Good afternoon. I am Andrea Chisholm with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Opposition Member of Parliament Dr. Dayton Campbell is urging his PNP colleagues to focus on strategies to win the next general elections. He was speaking at a recent PNP meeting. We have details in this report.
The local vibe where some people are carrying, we need to put down that little thing down and get serious about that something and decide that we'll get rid of them labour rights.
That's plea from the opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Dayton Campbell, to his colleagues within the People's National Party, PNP. Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Peter Bunting, confirmed the leadership challenge on the weekend. Following that declaration, members of the party have started lining up behind their preferred candidates in the challenge. However, Dr. Campbell believes the party should focus on winning the general elections that is to come.
We have some things to sort out because we need to get back the country and set back that thing here right. PNP need to buckle down and get serious about that something here. We need to start take this thing serious because if labour right continue same way, all Wobia go legalize out here. So me never hear Wobia do anything good yet. So how is it that a government get up and decide them want to legalize Obia? Me not depend with them.
While taking a jab at the governing Jamaica Labour Party, he noted that the PNP leadership challenge should not be the party's main focus. He made reference to Othniel Lawrence's employment at the Caribbean Maritime University.
Or if you have a teacher who teach your pitney in a school at daytime, a primary school, high school, and this man around 3 times, 4 times for them pay. And PNP sit down and cuss with one another. Hello, sir. You better make me go take on some labour right.
Dr. Campbell was addressing party supporters at a PNP meeting in Montego Bay, St. James on the weekend. Herman Green, TVJ News.
In the meantime, Dr. Campbell has criticized the performance of Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton. Dr. Campbell claims the Health Minister is too focused on other things rather than resource shortages in the health sector and the safety of patients.
All the man do every day is get up and run a 5K and a 10K and people say, he's my best minister. May I beg you, Andrew Owens, please move him and put him as the Minister of Health, from Health and put him as Minister of Sports, because run the man want run.
Dr. Campbell also pointed to the rat infestation at the Spanish Town Hospital as a failure of Dr. Tufton.
You can't be Minister of Health and people are going to hospital and you're going to hospital sick and rat bite up your hand and your foot them. So me go hospital because me have a look cut and come out with leptospirosis. Me see people go Victoria Jubilee where you go for have pitney and them say to them, "Oi, when you come, carry your look or something." You never see that? You go have your baby and them tell us when you come to have your baby. We don't have nothing up here, carry your look or something when you come. You know, say some hospital them when you go then tell if you carry your own sheet. You want a sheet? I'm gonna tell us if you carry your own sheet. Then soon start telling if you carry your own bed. And somehow the country will ignore all of the foolishness so I go on and tell me about man I do well.
Residents of West Kingston have been paying their respects to former Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for West Kingston, Edward Seaga. Mr. Seaga's body has been lying in state at the Tivoli Gardens Community Centre since 10 o'clock. TVJ's Kirk Wright is on location and now joins us live. Kirk?
Thank you, Andrea. Inside the community center now, very somber mood, and that has been aided by a series of songs from the late Frank Sinatra. I must tell you, we did hear one of Mr. Seaga's favorite, "I Did It My Way." Inside the community center also, large monitors set up inside, showing memorable moments of the Prime Minister, moments that he would have participated in, while soldiers of the Jamaica Defense Force stand guard as people from inside the community and no doubt outside walk in a semicircle viewing the draped casket. I must tell you, we did ask a couple of people, what they thought about not being able to see Mr. Seaga's body. And one person everybody felt quite okay with that. One lady said to us, it's a good thing because had it not been so, people probably would have used his image all over the internet in a bad light. So they respect the fact that it's a closed casket viewing and they want to remember him like this. Hundreds of school children from different various schools came, and for them it was just being here was okay. But one young lady from the Denham Town primary school did say for her it was a boring affair. She actually wanted to see Mr. Siaga's body. At the moment, though, outside the community center, hundreds are still lined up to come and be a part of the moment here. And the security, I should tell you, is a lot of people from soldiers and members of the security forces are here. There are 2 ambulances here, and I suspect that's just in case they're needed. But apart from that, as I said before, a very somber moment, and the people are adhering to the rules here for viewing the closed casket. Susie?
We lost Kirk abruptly there, but he is at the lying-in state of Edward Siaga in West Kingston. And come tomorrow, Tuesday, June 11, Mr. Siaga's body will also lie in state at the Denham Town Community Center from 10 o'clock to 1 p.m. And it's time for a break on the midday news, but we'll have more stories right after this. Welcome back, and we're continuing the news. Former government minister and mayor of Spanish Town, Roddy Lawson, is dead. Mr. Lawson, who served as Minister of State and MP for St. Catherine Southwest, died on Saturday. PNP President Dr. Peter Phillips described Mr. Lawson as a tireless campaigner who was a key figure in the rebuilding of the party's organization after the defeat in the 1980 general elections. The PNP president said he also served as Minister of State in both the Ministries of Local Government and Water and Transport. He adds that Mr. Lawson served with distinction in the House of Representatives, winning for the first time in 1976 by defeating then JLP rising star Bruce Golding. More details are surfacing about the killing of 2 sisters at their Keith Avenue address, Duhaney Park, on Sunday afternoon. According to residents, 2 men dressed as workers of a utility company are believed to be the killers. They say the men in white helmets and khaki drove up to the sisters' rented house where they called one of the women by name. The men reportedly claimed they were there to fix a leak, and one of the sisters allowed them to come inside. Not long afterwards, both men were seen running from the house. The house was searched, and it was revealed that the 2 sisters were shot dead in one of the bedrooms. Community members say they knew little about the women, as a few months ago they moved from Clarendon to Duhaney Park. 5 people were hospitalized following a motor vehicle crash along the Pondside Main Road in St. Thomas Friday morning. It's reported that a route taxi operator was driving from Morant Bay to Yallas when the vehicle developed mechanical problems. He lost control of the vehicle, which skidded off the road, hitting a pedestrian on the sidewalk before crashing into a utility pole. The passengers and the pedestrian received multiple injuries. They were released over the weekend, but the driver remains hospitalized in serious condition. With the ongoing controversy and concerns surrounding the expansion of the burial grounds in St. Catherine, another town hall meeting involving residents and other stakeholders was held last week. We have details in this report.
Issues relating to the expansion of Dovecote and Meadowrest burial grounds in St. Catherine have been raised at public health meetings before. But residents of Green Acres, Frenchman Heights, Louisville and other communities got the opportunity to vent once again.
Most of the times when we call the water delivery trucks, they go down to Williams Well to fill up and come to deliver to us. The NWC has a map that shows you all the wells, all the underground water supplies in this area. And a lot of it is within that same area that this planned expansion is.
I'm the one of the person who gets flooded. I mean, the water is up to window height. We have to move out everything. The first time we got flooded is when Dovecot started doing their thing behind us. And all those big boulders keep coming down and block the drain. When you come to the community, you couldn't come out or you couldn't go in because it was like a pond in Taylor Road. All of Dovecot water just come from out of there, come right down into the community.
A cemetery now gonna devalue our land right away. I don't think nobody in the community wants a cemetery. Not one wants a cemetery.
In relation to the water contamination concerns, Dr. Carlton Campbell, who headed the environmental impact assessment before the permit was granted, tried to convince residents they should not be worried.
Based on the science and based on the depth to groundwater, based on the soil, and based on the mud at the bottom of it, and based on the whole decomposition of the human body. We looked at it, we modeled it, the groundwater. Yes, we told you 12 wells. Maybe what NEPA was saying when they told you 2, it would have been 2 downflow of the groundwater, because the groundwater flows south of the property. So any wells to the east and west would not be impacted if there is any contamination.
Residents, however, were not comfortable with that. The report from the meeting is to be sent to the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, to guide their decision going forward. Herman Green, TVJ News.
In news overseas, an Indian court has found 6 men guilty of kidnapping, raping and murdering an 8-year-old girl. The brutal crime happened last year in a northern Indian state. A police investigation revealed that the men, all Hindu, attacked the girl in an attempt to scare the tribe she belongs to. The victim was kidnapped, drugged and raped over 5 days in a Hindu temple. Her body was later discovered in a nearby forest. Protesters erupted in India after the men were arrested. One of the accused has been acquitted, while an 8th suspect, a juvenile, is being tried in a separate court. And in sports, West Indies' 3rd match of the World Cup against South Africa in Southampton has been abandoned due to persistent rain. After being sent into bat, South Africa reached 29 for 2 after 7.3 overs when the rain came. Jamaican Sheldon Cottrell took both wickets, removing Asham Amla for 6 and Adam Markram for 5. Quinton de Kock top-scored with 70 not out. With this result, both teams share the points and the West Indies moves from 7th to 5th in the table. The Windies will be in action on Friday against England at the same venue. The competition continues on Tuesday, where 1996 World Cup winner Sri Lanka plays Bangladesh in Bristol. And that's the Midday News. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.